Hi everyone, just before we get into another episode of What a Load of Bowls, we just want to give a shout out to our partners, Newcastle Car and Truck Rental. Newcastle Car and Truck Rental are a locally owned company servicing Newcastle and the Hunter. Todd Holden and family pride themselves on being part of the local community, and you feel that when you step through their doors. It isn't a different person every time you call, it's the same people taking care of business and taking care of you. So next time you're in need of a rental, be it a truck to move, a ute for those everyday DIY jobs, or a car to get the family around on a day out, be sure to contact the team at Newcastle Car and Truck Rental by visiting www.newcastlerental.com or by calling 02 49 081 081. And don't forget to tell them DJ and Simon sent you. All right, folks, back again. The What a Load of Bowls podcast. We're here for episode 56. Simon, good news, is still overseas. So we've got another guest co-host coming in here, auditioning to take the role full-time, potentially. We've got Jayson Pinnock from Yamba Bowling Club with us. Jayson, how are you, buddy?
Going well, DJ. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Not a problem. An absolute pleasure to have you on. It sort of flows pretty well. Like we had Maddie on last week, and we usually have Simon on. You've got a lot in common. Like all three of you had no notoriety till you started hanging out with me. So it's gone pretty well. Like Maddie got Greenkeeper of the Year, like we touched on last time. Simon's now world famous on the podcast because he's on my coattails. And mate, we'll get into the commentary a bit later, and or infamous or famous or whatever you want to way you go about it. The platinum pennants. It's good to have you on, mate. It makes sense to have you on. So yeah, it's going good, mate. We might just start with a bit of around the greens, and then we'll get into a bit more about you and your bowls career and your admin career and stuff. So. Yep. New South Wales versus Queensland, mate. State of Origin Test Series has just happened.
Tight series, mate.
It was. All round too. The shares were pretty well spoiled. Just looking at the results there. Open women got up 2-1. Open men got up 2-1. Big shout out there to Anne Johns. She ticked over 200 caps.
Yes,
she did while she was there. And Lee Schreiner, 350 total across the three states he's represented. That's a fair effort there, isn't it?
It's huge, mate. Huge.
It is. There's only a few men have ducked over 400, like we talked about with Barry Lester a few weeks ago.
Yep.
40s women, 3-0. That was the only one that went 3-0. The 40s men, they went down 1/2 to 2.5, so they managed to get a draw out of that. And the 25 men and the 25 women both going down 2-1. So that's two test series over and done with. They beat Victoria 3-0 in the women and 3-0 in the men. Talking about the open men's here. Selections are in for the nationals. The women's have gone for a unchanged lineup, but the men, after having the same team for two tests, have made one personnel change and a couple of positional changes going into the nationals, mate.
Interesting changes there.
Yeah, Brett Spur's been got the punt. So he has. It looks like they made a couple of changes while they were up there, but he's unfortunately missed out for the nationals. And Jay Bruce is coming in, young up and comer, as we know. Well, let's say up and comer. He's won a few state titles. He goes all right, Jay, doesn't he?
He's in a bit of form, Jay, isn't he? You know, recently, Dubbo, he did really well. State singles and triples as well, I believe. So, that was a ballaner, sorry. So he's in a bit of form, Jay. So definitely selection's worthwhile. But no Brett Spur. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, he's in and around the squad. Obviously, he trialled again this year. He made his debut for them last year. It's just an interesting one that they've gone, two test series wins. And unfortunately, one's made the change, and then they've moved Mason from a lead up to a second. They moved Cody from a second back to a lead on that rink, and then Jay's come in on the other one. But looking at the stats, mate, we'll not name names, but one of the rinks after the two series had 5 wins plus 60. Another one, 3.5 wins plus 13. Another one's only had 1 win and they're minus 33. So maybe it was warranted a change there. It's pretty cutthroat with selections. I mean, it's never an easy job. We know what it's like at club level, but imagine at state level with the spoils that we have here in New South Wales. So imagine it was a tough call.
Most definitely, mate. Selectors got their work cut out here in New South Wales, mate.
But you never know either. There's obviously off chance Spurry was never available for the Nationals. We don't know the ins and outs, but it was an interesting one to see. I seen that come out this week. I thought that was an interesting one, mate. I thought we'll touch on it.
Definitely.
So a few other things coming up. We do talk about New South Wales a lot because that's where we are based. So I've seen they've put expressions of interest out there to nominate for the board. So everyone interested in nominating to the Bowls New South Wales board, jump online, have a look, have a go. See how you go with it. New South Wales Awards and Member Conference coming up at the end of October as well, mate. You heading down?
Sure are, mate. Definitely. Loud and proud with Yamba. We've actually got 2 nominees in the Senior Women's Bowler of the Year we have. So pretty proud club we are, and
Nice.
looking to head down there and support them.
Very good. I'll be down there too, mate. It'll be Clay Parker, Senior Men's Bowler of the Year nomination, Coach of the Year nomination, and Chris Constable has got All Abilities Female. Or no, it's not even. It's All Abilities nomination. She's in there with two top squares as well. I did notice, mate, I didn't get an invite for the commentary gig that we managed to put up. Obviously, they've just forgot about us.
Oh, they probably just want to give us the night off and just give us a well-deserved break, and bring in the B team. Probably Andrew Lynn might be in.
Good on you, mate. Poor Lenny. And yes, mate, World Championships is on at the minute at Club Barham down in, it's New South Wales, isn't it? But it may as well be Victoria, it's that far away.
That's exactly right, yes. Club Barham. Pretty new facility there too, the second one. The second undercover's only fairly new too, I believe, DJ.
It is
recently installed.
Funnily enough, we were down there with Mac, so we were earlier in the year doing a bit of travelling around. We went to the BPL down at Moama.
Yep.
And John Rivera and that took us out to have a look at Club Barham because interesting way they put it together, mate. They designed the double roof, but they built it in stages. So you see a lot nowadays, like ours is going to go up with just a double structure. A lot of people go up double structure straight away. These guys actually went, well, no, we're going to do it in the stages. So they put the first one up with all the fixtures and fittings ready to go to put the second one up as well. So interesting thing too, the carpets were laid at pretty much the same time. One's running nearly 3 seconds quicker than the other because it's been exposed to the elements. Just shows you what it does. So. But it'll be interesting for the best of the world all around playing in those events and getting used to all those carpets. So just having a quick look, mate, in the men's draw, sections of 3. Looks like the top 3 go through from each section. Malaysia, Thailand, and Wales are going pretty well in Section 1. I'm not going to mention names, man, because I get any wrong. I don't want to offend anyone. Section 2, though, the Aussie representative, Jacob Nelson, he's going well. He's played 6 games, won 5, lost 1, so he's topping his section ahead of Fiji and then Canada. Well, that is, but Spain, Malta, and a few other nations pushing hard there. Section 3, Ian McLean, mate, absolute gun of a player. He'd be one of the favourites, I reckon, going into that. He's leading his section from India. And then shout out to David Copeland from Dumbarton Bowling Club back home in Northern Ireland. He's holding on to a section there, to a spot in that section as well. Moving on to the women's.
Previous winner, is that right?
I think he is, mate. He's been around for a long time.
I think I saw something actually, World Bowls did an interview or something with him. I believe he ran one back in 2013, 2014. Absolutely. Like that. It was in New Zealand.
Probably, man. He's been a stalwart of the Scotland team for a long, long time. So, like I said, definitely one of the favourites going in. Moving on to the women's, and Shauna O'Neill's going well from Ireland. She's 6 wins, 3 losses, and a bye there. She's top of her section ahead of Malaysia, and then Shay Wilson from Norfolk Island, USA, and then Australia. Chloe Stewart just outside of the playoff spots there, so she'll be pushing hard in the last round. I think she plays Shauna too, so she'll be pushing hard to try and get a playoff spot. Chloe recently retired, so she'll want to try and do her best in the green and gold for possibly one the last time. New Zealand going well, England going well, and Thailand in Section 2. And then we've got Malta, Rebecca Rickson, and Hong Kong and South Africa going well in the other Section 2. So there's still another day or so play there of the sections. Then we'll get into the finals. I think by the time this podcast comes out, we might be into the finals. So good luck to all those in the champions. And shout out to Barry Lester, lead commentator, mate. He got the job ahead of us. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, mate, Baz is pretty good at his role, mate. So, and we're both unavailable, unfortunately. So they probably went for their plan. They went for their plan B as well.
Yeah, some people have to do their day jobs, don't they? We can't just, rock around coaching and just like out there. We got to take the admin side serious. So we do. But mate, it's brilliant to have you on. Obviously, we've got to know each other well the last couple of years. We had a real good stint there, the commentary for Platinum Pennant with New South Wales this year. Put them on the map, some might say. Don't know. But mate, for all those that are listening, we're going to find out who Jayson Pinnock really is. It's just as we ask everyone, how did you actually get into the game of bowls?
Mate, it's a funny thing. I was actually a dart player. Played a lot of darts, enjoyed me darts, and just had a young family and kids. First child, 12 months of age. I was about 23, 24, and the darts scene wasn't really family friendly. So I had to find something else. I still had that competitive spirit. Found something else, and actually, it was my father said, "Come into the North Towers Bowling Club. We'll go and have a game." They had Twilight bowls.
Yeah,
it's like bowls, really? Yeah, all right, I'll go and have a game with you. The dad himself wasn't much of a bowler, just a social bowler as such. Went in there, and I reckon within 2 ends, mate, I was hooked.
Yeah.
Absolutely hooked. The next day, I went to my bowling club, which I lived right on the border of, and yeah, signed up straight away, mate. I was hooked.
Hooked straight away. Nice.
One night.
So early 20s, but again, common theme, family got you into it. So that's good to hear.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
My grandmother was a really good bowler in her day, played at Bennett Hills in Sydney. Played pretty high performance bowls herself back in the day, she did. So, it's always been in the family, lawn bowls.
Yeah, nice. So where was it from then, that first night, and then you're just into just club championships, pennants, you know?
Yeah, went into my first season club championships, first year, knocked off the minor singles at my club. So very first year, won the club triples as well. So yeah, had a bit of a successful first year and had the buzz big time.
Yeah.
Played a couple of district events back then, come up against the likes of Wisey and Hurdo, and played a Jay Porter in a tournament early on. Jay Porter now obviously CEO at Cabramatta, and he belted me at an Easter tournament 36-2, and I went, oh my God.
This is what it's really like, is it?
Yeah, back down to earth really quickly, but mate, absolutely loved it, and fell into administration. Basically fell into it.
Yeah.
There was... And I've said this story quite a few times to people. There was a little bit of a gap in my club where I wasn't able to get a game of social bowls. There was no offerings of social bowls anywhere, and I went, well, where I was in Tamworth, summertime's pretty warm, mate. 40 degrees.
Yes.
You're not playing social bowls during the day anyway.
Yeah.
I went, well, we've got lights, let's use the things. And the bowls coordinator at the time, they've, bit of an old story, obviously. Yeah, lights had never worked. People don't like to play it. And I said, well, can I have a crack? Let me run it. So they did. And, first night, you only got about 6 or 7. Then it built the following week and had 24 people on green within about 3 weeks.
Yeah, nice.
Sensational. And from there, the bowls coordinator at the time sort of went, well, I've had me day. And I took on the part-time role as well as working at the club. And the rest is history from there. Just went from strength to strength, got into match committees on the district, selection committees, then went to Dubbo. That was probably the big role that I landed, Dubbo Railway Bowling Club, where Jay Porter was the CEO. And that exposed me to a whole new side of bowls administration. 6 pennant grades. I went from 2 pennant grades of 50 members to 6 pennant grades of 150 members.
Yeah.
And just full-on bowls, and that was nuts. But it was a good learning curve, mate. Really good learning curve.
So you've played Jay in that Easter tournament. He's tallied you up and gone, mate, probably admin. I'll bring you in as an administrator, not coming as a player. Is that what happened?
He didn't know me at the time, I'll tell you right now. Did not have a clue who I was at the time. It was at Uralla Bowling Club. I still remember it. It was at Uralla. Thunderbolt Pairs or something it was. So, I still remember that flogging though. But
So how quickly after you taking the game up did that whole admin pathway sort of start then?
Mate, I reckon it was within the first 12 months.
Yeah, right.
Actually, yeah, it wasn't within the first 12 months. As I said, I saw a gap where I couldn't get a game of bowls. And I went, well, why can't we play at night time? And that was, for me, I just went, well, I'm happy to deliver it. And I just got in and did it, asked for a bit of advice from a few people and went ahead and just started delivering it,
Yeah, nice.
And really had a passion for it. Like, isn't it crazy when you see people really get behind something that you've designed or you're running? The drive it gives you to go again further and do more again. So, and that's what it did for me. So that's how I started in bowls admin. Basically, fell into it.
Yeah, there you go. So how long were you at that club before you moved to Double Railway?
At Katingle, I was probably running the bowls there for about 2.5, 3 years.
Yep,
I reckon. And then went on to Double Railway. I did.
So you got the thirst. Obviously, got the thirst for it in that 2.5 years, and I suppose the next pathway is to try and get a bigger club and more of a full-time role. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was some personal issues as well. So I moved on from the town as well. So I had a few little, like a marriage split and whatnot. So it enabled me to look at pathways as well. Yep. So, which was really good for me, for my career. Yeah, so I went out to Dubbo and had that time out there. And unfortunately, the Dubbo Railway Bowling Club itself did shut down. It did. They shut down. They've reopened now as North Dubbo Sporties.
Yep.
But at the time they shut down. So I relocated back to Tamworth, where I took on a greenkeeping role at North Tamworth Bowling Club for a short while.
Greenkeeper as well. There you go.
Yeah. I haven't done a lot of greenkeeping, sort of, did me trade, but never really had my own full-time, like, greenkeeping role for a long, extensive period. I wouldn't say I'm a top greenkeeper, mate.
Yeah. I do, but it's not true.
I kept it very simple, and I asked for a lot of help, don't get me wrong. So,
Yeah.
But that was only a few months, mate, 6 months, I reckon, before an opportunity came. I finally got my, I guess you could say, my sea change opportunity to move to Yamba. And that was in a role as just at Ngowrie Resort as a groundsman.
Okay, nice.
I went, well, it was a simple labourer's role, but it was a sea change. It was to get away from that Tamworth Dubbo area where I'd been for about 25 years, and I could finally live on the coast.
Yeah.
So I went, yeah, you beauty, and I took it up, mate.
Yeah, nice.
18 months there, and an opportunity come up at McLean Bowling Club, only 15 minutes away from Yamba here, to take on their bowls coordinator's role. Only a part-time role. It was a bit of a mixed role, bowls coordinator.
Yeah, a lot of clubs have to do it that way, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it wasn't a big membership either. About 90 members it was. So, but that got me back into bowls administration. It did, which was sensational. I really loved it. Did a lot at that club. I learned a lot about community engagement at that club. Small community, 5,000 people roughly, maybe in the town, and really learnt how to engage the current community you've got in your area to engage into your club. And we use lawn bowls as the tool to get them into the club. So,
Nice.
really, had a lot of success at that club. First year I was there, we made state pennant finals in one of our grades. So, really happy with that. And introduced a lot of brand new members in 4 years there at McLean. Introduced a lot of new members. One member in particular now is a skip for our region side.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So really enjoyed my role there at McLean Bowling Club. I did. And in my time there at McLean Bowling Club, the local RBM at the time, Regional Bowls Manager for Bowls Australia, Jess Alvaro, was in the role, and she actually lived at Grafton, so I got to know Jess a fair bit. And she actually played out of our club. And when she moved on from the RBM role in Bowls Australia, I obviously reached into her and had a chat to her about the actual role. And, I put in for it and was lucky enough to land the role as a regional bowls manager with Bowls Australia. And, moved on to my role with Bowls Australia from there.
Yeah, nice.
I did. Not without a little bit of drama, I must say.
Yeah.
Because I think about probably 4 months in, Bowls Australia went through a massive restructure, and the RBM program itself went through a major restructure. We went from 5 employees on the ground to 2. So
I remember that. Just for you and Brett, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was, for me personally, I was like, I've just left a really good role with a club. I'm 4 months into this great role with Bowls Australia, and bang, me job's up for, I'm fighting for my job. And I didn't know if there would be a job back in clubland. There's full-time work in the Northern Rivers, especially Yamba, McLean, is very hard to come by. So there was some anxious moments there for me, I've got to say.
Yeah.
Had to go through a re-interview process, and I was up against colleagues as well, obviously, that are going for it, and colleagues that were in the roles a lot longer than me, and had quite a fair bit of experience. Look, I was lucky enough to be offered the role, and then became the CSM, or Club Support Manager, as they renamed it. Went from 90 clubs I was looking after to 260. So that was huge.
Yeah, that was a big step up.
Massive step it was. As I said, we went from 5 RBMs to 2 CSMs.
Yeah.
And it's been well advertised why that happened, due to financial reasons. I won't go into it too much, but all the information's out there now. And a massive area, Swansea, which is, just low, just south of Newcastle, all the way up to South Tweed, out to Burke, all the way down to Wagga and a little bit further down. So massive, massive land area as well. But it was I really enjoyed it, that role, connecting with regional communities and regional bowls clubs. It's I wouldn't say sobering, but it really sheds some light on you as an administrator, especially when you get out there. I remember walking into the club at Mendoran. Mendoran's Midwest, and the club was in not a really good state, tiny little town. And I'm not joking you, DJ. It felt like when you walked in the door, there was actually volunteers holding up the piers of the door so you could walk into the club. That's how it was falling around.
Wow.
Passion. the absolute passion for the volunteers had to try and keep their club open was a real eye-opener, mate. It was sensational. It really, really was. And there's many of them stories out there that I got to see clubs out there. I really... And I've said it quite a few times. I still believe without regional bowling clubs and those first-time experiences, where is our high performing side of the game right now? And look, I'm not saying anything about our big clubs. We need our big clubs as well. But how many? I'd love to see the stats. I've said it a few times. How many of our current or previous Jackaroos had their first time experience at a regional
club? Not just the big guns, just at a regional club. Yeah, you're right. Made
their first experience. And without that experience, would they be high performing players now? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'd love to hear that stat.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one. Might have to get B Team Andrew Lynn onto that. He might have some stats around that.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. And that's always been, and that's my passion for regional bowling club. And I threw a lot of passion into that role as my CSM. I really did.
Well, you sort of lived and breathed it, didn't you? Because you started regional yourself, so you knew what it was like. You obviously I don't know the full detail. You said about Double Railway closing down. Were you there when that happened? So you went.
No, it happened after I left.
After you left, yeah.
In a way, I saw the writing on the wall without knowing it. You know what I mean?
So what was the battles there that you, as you said, you seen the writing on the wall? What was happening? That just
there was a few things around. You could see things where they were struggling with bill payments. Maybe a pay was a day or two late. Just little things, mate, and then whispers from board members down through the club itself. So when you start hearing whispers whether they're right or wrong, it creates concern as an employee. So I just went, well, I need to just get out anyway, whether I'm right or wrong, and find another way because I've still got to live. I still need a career. So, and it proved, I think it was only 12 or 18 months later, that club actually did close down. So I really do have a lot of passion about the regional clubs, and my role as a CSM, mate, really opened up my eyes to what our volunteers do for our sport too, mate.
Yeah.
Like in the past, there's a lot of people say volunteers haven't been given enough credit. I think we do a better job now of recognising our volunteers. I still think we can do a lot better.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but they definitely still the backbone of our sport.
They are 100%. And it's getting the right people in the right places too. We've talked about it on the podcast for a bit. You got to get the right people in the right places. So, as you said, recognition is a big part of that. Education is a massive part of that, and actually getting them educated. Because too often, I think you've probably seen it in your role, mate. Too often you get committees in regional areas or in the smaller areas. Somebody's on that committee because no one else would do it. They're capable of doing it, and they're pulling their hair out. Or there's people that are on there because I want the power. I just want notoriety. I just want my name out there. And they're not worried about what's actually going on. It's finding that happy medium between the two, or getting that person that's there for the right reasons, and getting them that education so that they know what they do, and we can build it up from the ground up. Like grassroots is a big part of the sport.
Yeah, and I think it's the old adage, square pegs for square holes, mate.
Yeah.
You don't send an electrician into a plumber's job. It's the same with volunteers in our clubs. But I guess sometimes I think some volunteers take on too much, and it's been said quite a few times. There's usually 2 to 3 or sometimes 4 people that are doing a lot.
Yes.
And sometimes some people in clubs think, well, I'm not on a committee, I don't do anything. And changing that mindset of going, well, you know what? Joe Blow over there, he has an hour a fortnight to do something for us. Let's delegate something to him. Yeah. Mary over here, she can give us 2 hours a week. But these people don't want to be on committees.
Yeah.
They don't want to be committed to go to meetings and be responsible for stuff, but they're happy to donate an hour a fortnight, 2 hours this week. And they're important people. It's small fish are sweet, mate. That's again, there's a lot of puns I'm saying here, but they're so true. They are so true. Yeah. And I reach out to all clubs, and I say to all clubs, if you ask, you'll be surprised at how much time people have got to give you. Yeah. Ask the questions, but find the right people to ask the question too. And the right person in your club to ask the question is the person that people enjoy and love. They're the character. They're the DJ Dilworths in your club.
DJ Dilworth's like Vegemite, mate. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Sure is. But Mate, so
there's a lot of gold there.
Want to keep your members happy? Give them shade. Want to attract new ones? Give them year-round play. Want them to brag about your club to their mates? Give them a Max Bowling Green canopy. Make your members happy? Make it a Max. Yeah, what's some of the good and the bad you've seen in that role then? Like, what's some of the, like you said about the volunteers and stuff, what's some of the other good things you've seen out there that we might not see on the front line? What's some of the bad things, some of the struggles that are really out there that we need to get over for those regional clubs to keep the sport in the forefront?
You're right. There's still a little bit of the old school mentality that the higher associations and that are doing nothing for us.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that out there. And that's not right, because, I mean, I've been blessed to be involved with region level, state level and Bowls Australia, and I know the work that they're doing to provide regional clubs. And there's no truer example than online resources BA have provided. They are really, really good. If you actually dive into them and use them, they are really, really good. They're resources that we've never had before. Also, communication still seems to be a big complaint, and I don't know why. There is no need for that to be a complaint. I think our associations are doing great jobs in communicating, We can get communication within 30 seconds now. We don't have to wait 2 weeks for a letter in the mail anymore.
Yeah.
So I say to those clubs that complain about communication are you up to date with your email? Have you got your databases updated? Have you provided your correct contact details to these associations? Because they are communicating. So that's probably the baddest stuff, I think, DJ.
I'm with you on that, mate. Like, you see it all around. It's nearly a cultural aspect of the sport, isn't it? Like, they want to be, a lot of people at the time, they want to be spoon-fed.
Yes.
And you can't always be spoon-fed because we're such a big state.
Yeah.
You can't get around per Tim and that and Lee and that in the office using New South Wales. They can't just get out and see all those places once every couple of weeks. It's too far to go, and they've got their own stuff that they need to do. But I've never seen them turn anyone down when they've reached out to them.
Absolutely. So the resources are there. It's up to you as a club and a committee to reach out to them.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you don't know, but the help is there. Yeah. Reach out. If you're not willing to reach out, you're not doing the best thing for your club.
Yeah, 100%.
That's probably the worst stuff I see, mate, more than anything. It's, again, the economy, mate. We can't help that. Don't get me wrong. Regional towns are struggling due to technology increases, one machine now does the job of 10 to 15 blokes. So populations are dying. That's a natural thing, unfortunately. So, again, something that can't be helped. But, need to look outside the box sometimes, some of these places do, instead of relying on the old school way of doing things.
Yeah.
There's plenty of help out there. There really is.
There is, absolutely. And we've talked about it on here quite a lot too. Like, a lot of the clubs, they need to be able to adapt. And there's too many people at times, just they're scared of change, they resist change. But the world's constantly moving and evolving. You got to be, you mentioned there on the McLean stuff, you got to be part of the community.
Absolutely.
You got to be community-centric. You got to be the place that you want people to come. Don't worry about, you're not going to walk out on the street and get 3 guys at Coles or Woolies and go, come and sign up as a Bulls member. No, you want to get them into your club with something that attracts your local community.
Absolutely.
And then they look outside and see those grass greens. And that's when, or synthetics, because there's a lot of them, but they look outside and see the bowling greens and away they go and have fun. It's up to you to promote it that way. They're not just going to walk in the front door because you want them there. You need to give them something to come in for.
Yeah, exactly. And reach out to that community and have a chat with your local people that aren't coming to your club and find out why. Ask the question, why aren't you coming to our club? Most times you see committees sitting around deliberating over why they're not getting people come in, but they haven't asked the people.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it the culture of the club? Is it our offerings? Well, go and ask your community. Just get up off your butt and go and ask. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. I think. There might be some challenges along the way. It's not going to be a quick fix, but by all means, you got to start the process or you're not going to fix it, are you?
Fully agree with you.
All right, so BA was up and down, I suppose, would you say, mate? But you love the role.
Oh, mate, absolutely love the role. And there's a lot of aspects I'll miss about that role. The biggest aspects are, I met a great team of people. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great people involved in BA. I really will miss them. I'll miss getting to see the diverse nature of our sport too, getting around all the different towns and clubs and everything. I'll miss that. But for me, DJ, dealing with 260 clubs and trying to deliver on certain aspects, some of my role and my success depended on others delivering. I could lead the horse to water, but to get him to drink was another thing.
Yeah.
So an opportunity come up then at my local club, Yamba Bowling Club. Don't get me wrong, it's an opportunity that I've looked at quite a few times over the years because it's been there.
Yeah.
It was never a right fit for me, but I think I did the right thing going to BA first.
Yep.
I learnt so much. And then the opportunity came up at Yamba, and I went, you know what, I want to get back to clubland and start delivering what I've learnt and what I've been preaching. It's a bit of a practice what you preach.
Yeah.
Change in management at Yamba Bowling Club. I won't say that was a telling factor, but the new CEO, brilliant bloke, mate. Absolutely sensational bloke. Plenty of passion, plenty of drive, really up. And that's nothing against the previous CEO. Previous CEO did a great job for the business. Absolutely got the club pumping into the position it currently is. So, yeah, having a chat with him, with the current CEO, Greg Target, really got me over the line. I said, mate, you got me hook, line and sinker. I listened to the plans, the future plans, the board directives and plans, 10-year strategic plan. Don't hear of them too often.
No. That's good to hear, yeah.
Yeah. So I went, it's my time. That's my time to get back to clubland. And, mate, haven't looked back, I've got to say. 3 months nearly now, or 2.5 months in.
Yep.
Mate, the workload's massive. That is huge.
It's there, but you sort of make it that way too, mate, with your passion for it. Like we talked about when you got back in, your first 6 months always going to be your hardest, especially when you're going in and you're building from the ground up. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
You're making it your way. After that, it's going to flow pretty easy. It's getting the culture right and things like that too. So
yeah. It's also a club. I didn't have to come in and fix anything really. There's a good culture here, good program.
Nice.
Yeah, look, I've got a different way of delivering things to previous coordinators. Don't get me wrong, but it's not about me fixing things, but it's about an opportunity for me to evolve it and to be a bigger player, so to speak, and showing the club, what potential there is in our sport for the club as well. So, and try and get rid of that old I guess that mentality of, bowls cost us money.
Yeah.
I still hear it and I hate it.
Is it wrong?
Well, depends how you look at it.
It depends how you look at it. They certainly look at it. I know we do in our club too. It's definitely a cost centre. So
it is, but without it.
But without it, you're not bringing people in to certain, our motels, we fill them with, when we had Interzone the other year, when we had state pennants and stuff we got there, our big Easter terms, you fill the motels, you bring them in, they go to the restaurant. You don't get to track all that. It's just about those people out in the green that are spending the money and costing the money on getting the greens going. But by all means, mate, it's hard. You got to have, and there's a lot of CEOs out there certainly do not like the spend on bowls.
No.
You've got to have a supportive one.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what we've got. But we've got a supportive board too.
Yeah.
They're driving it as well. And so together, it can only be a win-win for us, mate. We're in the middle of contracts. We're hosting, we've got upcoming, we've got the over 40s state finals in December.
Yep.
That follows on by the inner region sides in February. And then we follow on to the Grade 1 state pennant finals in August, I think, or end of July, August. So hosting some big events. Couple other ones in the pipeline too, which that we'll keep that under wraps for now. But there's some planning with some bigger events.
Yeah.
But also evolving our current events. Like they just started the Festival of Bowls. It's 6 days, $50,000, 6 days, 3 one-dayers, and then the big fours, which is $30,000 over 3 days. So
you started big pairs on too, didn't you?
We just had the ladies' club. Blue Pacific pairs on Monday yesterday, so that attracted 46 teams from Queensland down into Urunga, Coffs Harbour. This weekend, I've got the men's classic pairs on. That's got 54 teams.
Nice.
It has 108 bowlers, and they're coming from Sydney and stuff like that as well. So plenty happening at the club, plus trying to run about 15, 16 club competitions. We're heavily involved in pennants. With open pennants, we'll run probably 6 grades. Yeah. Men's and ladies pennant will fill each division.
Yeah.
And they're all involved with the region events, all the championships, and every tournament that's around the area.
Yep,
mate, it's insane.
Good. That's good. That's good to hear, man. I think the only downside, they didn't go to market, did they? They just offered you the job. I mean, who knows what they could have got? No bike,
They did their Oh, I know. They did do their research. They did their research very thoroughly. There's a couple of crosses on the list, apparently. So, yeah, no, I was blessed that they did come to me and ask me to take on the role, and they'll get 300% out of me. They will.
Yeah, well, no doubt about that, mate, at all. No doubt about that at all. So, now you've done well, mate, in those short couple of months, so well done to you. What other aspirations have you got in that role? What do you want to see yourself doing?
We had our presentation night only end of August, and I actually said to them, I'm in a settled position with my whole life, new grandfather as well, grandson's 14 months old, little legend. So that's a new part of life as well. Mate, I'm very settled in life, very happy in life. Mate, this will be basically my final role.
Yeah.
I'll retire here. I said that at presentation night openly. Honestly, in my head, I thought the BA role was going to be my retirement role. I was looking forward to 20 years there. But, I have said to this club, no, you are my final role.
Yeah. Well, hope you keep doing well. Then you put the pressure on yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's why they want me anyway. So I said, basically, you got to sack me to get rid of me. So, mate, plenty of aspirations. So in the strategic plan, they actually presented that to the members at the AGM last Sunday. Mm-hmm. They did talk about facility management, which we're in conversation with, and I'm open. I can be open about it because they presented it to the members. We are looking at a double undercover synthetic, as well as 2 grass greens. So we've currently got 3 full-size greens and a half green. So there'll be a bit of movement. We'll move 1 green across where there's a big gap, and we've got plenty of room to put the second grass green or move the second grass green, and then have 2 undercover synthetics around the other side. So 4 full-size bowling greens they're looking at. Plus club upgrades, the club has this option there of going up 2 stories.
Nice.
So they're looking at that also. And a few other bits and pieces as well around the traps, which I won't really go into because it's a little bit private as well. But yeah, but a 10-year strategic plan was massive when I read it. And it wasn't just facility development. I'm talking about financial management. We're talking about governance, risk management, absolutely everything. And it's basically the club's wants to be relevant. It's about the club being relevant in the community as well as in the industry.
Yeah, nice.
So, which is a pretty big thing these days.
Yeah.
And obviously putting the club in a position where, should legislation come in from the government around poker machine, we all know about poker machine revenue, that we'll still be operating. Yeah, still be operating. Yeah, big things happening, mate. Very exciting.
Good to hear, me. Yeah, well, it's pretty similar down here. We've talked a lot about both rules off the air, so we have. So it's good to see you're going through all that as well, mate. It's pretty darn good. Right, mate. Let's get into some of the fun stuff, then. Let's go. Actually, you know what? Let's go back to your bowling career, mate. What level are we playing at? What have we won? What are we doing?
Mate, I'm a bit of a hit and miss, mate,
Yeah.
Look, I can pull a big game out here and there and beat a good player once every 3 or 4 years, mate. But generally, mate, I'm just your average club bowler. Yes, I played grade 2 pennant, probably should be grade 4. Mate, I'm a competitor out there, though. Like, I can get cranky.
Yeah.
I hate losing. I lose a lot, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, mate, I am competitive on green. In the past, I've probably been disrespectful, and I know that. But I've learned, and you do learn, I'm no Australian player. I'll never play for the state. I've represented the zone once. So that was pretty big.
Nice.
That was pretty big. That was after 30 people broke their legs and shoulders and everything. That's why I fell into administration because, that's where I am high performance, I believe.
Yeah. Very good. I like that one. Good on you, mate.
Yes. But, mate, you're very, very competitive on green. I do love it, and I like getting amongst it all as high as I possibly can.
Yeah, nice.
You'll never see me in green and gold, mate, or even sky blue.
Maybe just spectating and supporting.
Yeah, for sure. Brilliant, mate. But commentary, mate, that's probably the passion, and that's where
that's where we're going to, mate. So obviously we've joked quite a bit about it. Me and you did the platinum this year, but talk us through it from your aspect, mate. How did that come about? I mean, obviously we weren't on the radar.
Nah,
we were the B team replacements, I think is what we were quoted as on Facebook.
Didn't even put a expression of interest in actually for the role.
Yeah, right.
Did you?
I did, yes. I did.
Oh, you didn't get in first time.
It wasn't available for some of it, but no, definitely. But no, I did. I put an EOI in for me. I like the sound.
Cool.
I like the sound of my own voice, even if other people don't, which you find out. But all right, so talk us through it then, mate. Obviously they started out first weekend with a different team. Then next thing, Jayson Pinnock's there in front of everyone.
Got a bit of a call. Spoke with the Bowls New South Wales team, and I'd done a little bit of commentary with them at state championships at Dubbo.
Yep.
With Andrew, and they were actually quite impressed with my work apparently. So don't know if Andrew was.
Well, unfortunately, Andrew set a pretty low benchmark. Maybe that's why.
Well, don't know, but I'm sure Andrew will let us know if he did or not. Yeah. But I love you, Lenny. But Bowls New South Wales reached out to me and asked if I was interested. And at the time I was with BA, so I reached into BA and asked them, there's an opportunity. Can I do this? And and I went, yep. Errol ticked all the boxes. I was as nervous as anything. Lead commentator's so different to just being on, the sideline commentator.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable. Put me in front of that camera, and you saw a few of those camera ones.
Chicken wings.
Those interviews. Chicken wing, yeah, I know. I watched it a few times, though. Oh, shocking. But, in front of the camera, I'm quite nervous. But, look, it was a big learning curve for me being the lead commentator. As I said, never been the lead. Where do I go with this? I just got on there and went, I'll just take a leaf out of DJ's book and talk a little bit of, trash.
Yeah.
Try and keep it clean. So, so that's how that come about. And then they were looking for, obviously, sideline commentators, they were, so to speak. They were looking for a sidekick, so to speak, that might be able to keep up with me.
Yeah.
They did reach into me and ask if I had any suggestions, and I did have a couple. Have a couple. And then I think we were at East Maitland, weren't we?
East Maitland was the first one, yeah.
East Maitland. And they went, well, he's close by, let's just use him. So they got the mighty DJ in for a gig, and look, we did pretty well, I thought, mate.
Well, I think
we did all right.
Pretty nervous after that your lead commentary gig was going, but I think they said, no, if the phone call I actually got was, it worked pretty well, DJ. Your expert knowledge really helped Jayson along because he's pretty novice at the game. He can talk a bit and he can move his arm. But yeah, we just need your expert opinion. But yeah, that's how it started. East Maitland, then Raymond Terrace was a cracking night.
How good was that night?
The atmosphere and everything there that night was brilliant. You could really bounce off of that. That was really, really good. But yeah, mate, you suckered me in at Platinum Pennant Finals, but to go home.
How good was that?
Oh, it was. It was too good. It was too good.
I remember they were saying, who are we going to get for the finals? I said, well, you've got to have him. You've got to have him. Like, we seem to have worked well.
Yeah.
And then, you said how you had your commitment. You had your flag racing ceremony back at Maitland on the Sunday morning.
Saturday morning,
Saturday morning, sorry. And it's like, okay. And just like, no, you've got to get back here. You want to be here, DJ. Especially
that was a big day.
How good were the semi-finals?
Oh, man, unbelievable.
Right? There was no way you were missing that, the final.
No, there wasn't. No. That was good. It would have been, I suppose if we were being a bit greedy, to have last year's final would have been good.
Yeah, of course.
Because it was a little bit like it went. Like we sort of said while we were commentating too. It was good that it still went to the last end. Like it was never over. But like Maryland's they just had control of that from the get go. But to see how they came back from where they were, like to go undefeated, then lose the last round to Cabra, and then lose the qualifier for the grand final to Warilla, and a little bit of needle in that game.
And it was. That was good.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think I remember sitting in the boardroom up there at Cabramatta with Billy and all that, saying, "Oh, I don't want to be rude, but I think they're done. Like it's just that's pretty brutal. Like what's going on the green there." And then they came out the next day. I had a chat to Omar on the side about what went on that morning, and I think he just had a few honest truths, and they absolutely creamed Cabramatta, didn't they?
They looked like what the Cronulla Sharks are looking like right now.
Oh, don't swear. Cut that out. Simon Little, cut this part out. Oh, he won't. He's a Sharky too.
He's a legend. Hey. No, but you're right. They come out and they were just a different team, mate. And look, that final, those two girls up front, what an absolute golden move, putting them in the same rink together.
It was scary, wasn't it?
They absolutely smashed that front end.
Yeah.
Absolutely annihilated it. And they're playing against no mugs, but they just made them, I wouldn't say they made them look like mugs, but geez, they were good, those two girls up front.
Yeah, no, they did, mate. But yeah, so talk us through that commentary a bit. Then, what was the good points? What was the learning experiences of it?
Mate, the whole thing was, I think the learning experiences was obviously, just understand that DJ's a big character. You just got to let him have his moment, let him take over, but make him feel like he's the man, and it works. And I'm happy for that. I'm so happy for that, mate. I am. You just got to know sometimes, when someone's just got that bigger character than you, and and I'm all about the sport first, so I'm happy for you to step in there, mate, and be the number one. I've got no problem with it whatsoever.
Oh, good on you. We're still waiting.
I just don't know if you've got the head for the camera.
Oh,
no, I don't.
Maybe not.
I'll have to develop your chicken wing a little bit too.
I'm still waiting on Billy developing the word count for us. He's still going. I think he finished yours the day after, but he's still doing my one. Yeah, no, I mean, it was great fun. I tell you what, they never would have picked that partnership to start with. But look at us now.
No way in the world. But it worked, didn't it? It really did work. It was great. And look, I don't think I'll be back in this year, unfortunately, with the way pennant seasons are and clubland and everything. So it's going to be hard. But you know what? I'll never forget that experience, mate. Never. And I'll be taking up any opportunity to do it again. So
here we go, mate. So here we go. Number one commentator for the number ones up there. Since you're hosting it, you never know.
Well, mate, we're hosting that. We've got the over 40s as well, and the inner region. I've got a few chances yet, DJ.
Yeah, it's gone a bit downhill for me. Like I'm just going to Malaysia in a couple of months and commentating for a bit with Barry Lester. So a bit of a step down from Jayson Pinnock, but we'll see how we go.
Good luck to you, mate.
That'll be a fight over the microphone.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing too. Like commentary. I think it's just one. We're not professionals either.
No, I mean, it was just good. The personalities work because it is a hard job. Like one of my first experiences with Bulls East was I had to sit there by myself.
Yep.
I'm like, I can talk, but I need someone to bounce off, which is where we work pretty well together. And that, as you said, like, yeah, I know how to spit a few words out. But
I've seen that too, and I've seen it in previous and live streams. When there's just the one commentator on, it's very, very mundane.
It's hard.
I'll say it to everyone. If anyone's out there listening and you do live streaming, make sure you got two commentators.
And where you can have the comments up. If you are live streaming, and you have, because being able to interact the audience a little bit too is pretty good. You got to watch out for the keyboard warriors. We had plenty of those while we were there. Actually, you know what? Actually, it was heavily weighted towards the positivity. You're right. We were heavily weighted. You had that one bad experience. Was it Mount Lewis where you were at or something? And I think the A team thought they were their actual A team, and they came out and started a little bit of jealousy and a little bit of things there from.
I remember I had they created new profiles. Daryl Halligan and Billy all got on there, and well done, Daryl and Billy. For I really appreciate that. Really appreciate your feedback, good, negative feedback. Thank you very much, Daryl.
No such thing as bad publicity, Jace. So it's not. So
that was funny.
No, it was good, but yeah. No, it is. It's a tough gig when you have to sit there and try and do it by yourself.
Definitely.
Andrew Lynn knows that because nobody wants to sit with him and do it with him.
Poor Andrew. He goes all right, Andrew. He's pretty knowledgeable, but yeah, mate. Just understand. B team is where you're at, mate.
B team. B team to the B team.
I love it.
Oh dear. Right, mate, we'll finish off with just a couple of random ones. Mate, where do you see the sport in the next 10 years? You reckon we chance of this Olympic Games?
Olympics, mate. Isn't that an interesting one?
Mm-hmm.
There's a few things I could say about the Olympics, but I better not.
Oh.
No, well, I've heard things, where there wasn't going to be a push for it, and then all of a sudden I see now there is
massive push.
It'll be interesting. Who gets on board there. And then, we look at 10 years down the track, who's going to be playing for us? Are we looking at our 18-year-olds now, or is it a junior that's 10 or 11 now?
Yeah. It's the beauty of the sport.
Or is it our current crop? Are they still there in 10 years? So that's an interesting one.
It's the beauty of the sport, but yeah. I think it's definitely, you're saying about the big push and all that there. You look at the push, you look at a bit of the history as well. It definitely seems to be the way it ends with the Paralympics. to start with.
Yeah.
That seems to be our way in because we are such an inclusive sport, and that's what they're looking for.
And look, they're going to have to play a format which probably for our sport isn't a true indication of the better team, and that's sets play.
Yeah.
I got to say it. Sets play is, I know it's the way forward for our game. It really is because of the short, sharp format and excitement. But is it the true indication of the best team on the day or best player on the day? There's a lot of arguments against it.
There's a lot of arguments against it, but it was brought in years ago for the TV, as you say. I mean, Omar's a big sort of not. He's not against it, but Omar's like, it's not. Omar says there's a place for it, and he's right.
Yes.
But is it a place at the high level? Us purists of the game probably think not. I think Test match cricket, is our 21 up, 25 up in singles, whatever you want to play.
Absolutely.
That type of stuff is. But if we want to get our sport out there, we got to adapt. Like we talked about it earlier with the club saying they adapt, the sport needs to too. BPL, it's a great form of the sport to get people interested. It's a very good novelty. Is that the way forward? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I definitely think it'll be interesting to see the BPL this time around because they are having that test event.
That's right.
So there beforehand. So I've put a lot of pressure on Gary Kelly there and told him, because Gary's involved in that. As you do realize if we don't get to the Olympics now, it's probably your fault, Gaz. I told him too, I says, mate, what position have you put yourself in? Because it's the Australians trying to get it in the Olympics in 2030. You can't go out and beat Australia.
That's right. Yeah, mate, come on.
I'll tell you what, I know he's got a little bit of roll over from growing up with him.
Yeah.
But now it'll be good to see how that goes. And then I think they're doing something similar again. I think there might be a rest of the world against Malaysia over the World Cup at the start of March or start of November as well. So it'll be good to see how all that pans out. I mean, we'd love to see it. We'd love to see it. Is it a realistic thing? It's probably more real now than it ever has been. Like we were very skeptical probably 12 months ago. Then we sat down and spoke to Neil. Neil sort of gives you a little bit of hope. Yeah. And then we talked to Neil and Brett there a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you've listened to that one yet. That's an absolute cracker. Like we've got the right people in the right places at the minute, I think. If we're ever going to do it, it's Brisbane in 2032. So fingers crossed.
I think so. I mean, they've done a lot of good work, World Bowls, in the last probably 4 years.
I think so. Maybe it's just
getting more member nations.
We said this the other week too. I don't know if it's just because we're more aware of it now, because obviously we're doing this and we like to read up on what we can read up. I don't know if we're just more aware of it, but it just seems that they're just out there more and promoting more and getting it right and showing us what's good. The amount of announcements they've made since May, it's just got people interested. It's really good.
Introduction of world number ones for a start, rankings for the world, that's huge. The World Bowl Series, that's an interesting concept too.
Absolutely.
All stuff that's helping to get the game out there more and at that world level, which is what we need. Look, we want to see more countries playing and obviously competing well, especially against Australia. We're the strongest in the sport. We know that. No, there's no two ways about that. Yes, on the day, the other countries beat us at times, but overall, as a country, we're the leader.
Yeah, it's hard to beat. Yeah.
So,
although I'd like to see you tell that to Alex Marshall.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't do that. Couldn't do that to the goat. But I think there's a lot more out there about our sport on that world level now than there ever has been, and kudos to the World Bowls team and Neil Dalrymple up there. So interesting to see where it all goes, mate.
What about locally then, Maeve? Are we going to see much out of BA in the next 10 years? Do you think is there going to be any changes? Is there stuff happen behind the scenes that you've maybe seen but can't reveal, or type of thing? Or what do you see? Do you think we're in good hands at the minute?
I know we've got great people in the right positions there. The direction they're taking. Look, I don't know. I'm not privy to a lot of information, but you can see that there's a push to shorter formats, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's a big push for shorter formats, and that's about to get that participation rate up. I worry about the tradition of our game because of it.
Yeah, we got to be careful with that.
Like every sport, there's traditional formats that must be held up. And I worry that there's going to be that those traditional sides of it. Like I worry about 2-2-2-2 pairs being completely gone. I love this. I love it myself personally.
See, the battle you've got there is you're the only nation that plays it.
I know that.
We never knew what it was till we came out here.
Yeah.
And like I said, singles as well. Like where I stand with singles. I've pushed it on the match committee as well. Like I'm no shame to that. We didn't know past 21 up existed. Yeah, I played the game nearly 20 years by that point.
You ever played the 31 up?
Mate, we came out here. We played the South Pacific within a couple of weeks of being here. We've gone to play 3 games in a day of 25 up, and I've looked at the organizer going, "Are you serious? 25 up?" He goes, "Oh yeah, well you don't play till 31 till you get into the knockouts." I went, 31? What are you on? And they're like, "Well, what do you say?" It's just 21 up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I got in. Yeah, that's what I was brought up with. Yeah, so I do worry about the traditional formats, but look, I fully understand the need to promote shorter formats. You know, people are time poor. You know, it's that simple. Families are time poor. If we're trying to get them into competitive bowls, well, we have to provide them options. So,
and as long as there's that pathway, pathway, independence.
Absolutely.
So we always say it's like our test match cricket. Like cricket went through the same thing. They had ODIs come in.
Yep.
You know, then they had that World Series cricket or whatever that happened in the 90s or whatever. They had all that battle on. Test cricket still stood the test of time. They still talk about four-day test. Hope it never happens. There's nothing better than a 5-day test, a 5-day test match.
Absolutely.
But then they had T20 come in. And now you've got the 100 playing over in the UK. And then you've got some leagues that are playing 10 over games. So they've got to have that battle too. We've got to take a leaf out of that book, I suppose. You always got to have that pathway. Pennants has got to survive through it all. But it's got to be consistent across the states, Jayson. We all play different.
We do. So how do we bring that together?
The bowls.
Good question.
The main organisation needs to grab it by the scruff of the neck. We need a federation model. I've said it all the time. I don't think it'll ever happen. I think everyone sees it, but we need a federation model.
From the top down.
Yeah, it has to be, mate. It has to be.
But then do you lose, then does the, the associations down lose their identities? You know, they've all got their own identities. So that's something.
And that's where the battle is now, because they've got all got their own identities. They still have their
different financial models. They're all in different areas financially too. Yeah. So is it fair? Is it not?
That's
Who knows?
It started off that way, but
I think at the end of the day, whatever's best for the sport and our stakeholders, which are our member clubs, you know, we've got to.
I think we talked about this with Baz. We talked about this with Baz a couple of weeks ago. Like, our sport pretty much is nearly funded from the ground up.
Yep.
Yeah, I mentioned it on the pod, I'm pretty sure. Tim mentioned to us, because the Bulls New South Wales are doing the rounds at the minute. Cricket New South Wales gets like 40 million just from Cricket Australia, whereas we pay an affiliation fee up the way.
That's the funding, isn't it?
It is.
Bowls gets into the Olympics. Imagine what the funding opportunities.
That's where we've got to get to. So you got to go those big things. Yeah, it is 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Anyway, mate. Mate, that's pretty much all I've got to ask you. We've had a good run. Anything you want to add, or are you going well?
Thanks for having me, mate. No, I'm going well. I am. Life's good, buddy, and really appreciate you having me on tonight. And mate, come up to Yamba and check out God's Country when you get a chance.
I will, mate. When we get a chance, I will. I'll try and swing it, see if I can get up in December with the boys. I'm going to go up as team manager or something for Rugsy and Reese, so we'll see if I can go up there with them.
I've had your team up here for the state pennant finals, mate. They
two up. Well, you weren't doing Yamba last year, but there was 2 teams up for the over 40s last year. We've had the 2 grade go up this year, and then we've got these guys going up for the over 40s as well. Yeah. Our Reynolds are starting very soon, as you know. Otherwise, I'll probably try to get up there for the pairs. The missus wants to go to Yamba too. I'll be there at some point.
Yeah, well, make sure you bring a shirt this time. The only thing you had to do last time. 16 clubs, they all brought shirts.
Listen, a bit of context. He doesn't mean me going up there shirtless. Nobody wants to see that. But yes, Jayson had this bright idea of all 16 clubs at the state pennant final having their shirts displayed. I said, mate, that is super. And then I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I'll actually get him one that'll fit him and he can keep it up there as a little surprise for me. And the fellas were probably an hour and a half up the road, and I've gone, I forgot that shirt.
You're the only club that wasn't represented on the big board, mate.
Tell you what, we had everything else organised, bar that flipping shirt.
You did. And I will say, you're a bit tight on your the funding too, from what I understand. You know, you're in me up. So your team made the semi-finals, made the final, of the state pennant, and you go, look, Jace, I want to organise this and that. So I did the run around, we got it organised, a few little hiccups, but we got it sorted.
$5 a head.
And then you give them a little $500. It's like, come on, mate, you know, you should have flown up here in your own jet. And it should have been on.
Yeah, I couldn't. If I did that, if I fueled the jet, mate, I wouldn't have been able to afford the beer at the end for them. But it was more than that. It was slightly more than that. But I was pretty shocked when they rang me and went, "Oh, we don't have enough for food." I'm like, "What are you drinking? Have you shredded the club?" They had a good time, so they did. It was a good team, that one. It was good to see that team do well. So it was that a bit of a
bunch of people, mate.
It was an interesting pennant season. They were playing as a grade 3 side, playing in with a combination of grade 2s and grade 3s, and they managed to knock off some of the good ones to get up there. So now it was good for them. There's a lot of nice people in that one. So it was.
Yeah, for sure.
So no, it was good, mate. No, look, mate, it's good to see you going very, very well. Hopefully you're wrong, and we do get to do the commentary again for Bulls New South Wales, because let's face it, it'll go downhill if it doesn't.
Mate, we've got to be in, surely.
Mate, I don't think Billy could survive if we didn't. I think Billy hears this. Billy will be on the phone straight away to whatever financier he has, just to make sure he can afford us. Saying that, if I can get half of what you got next time, it's a big increase in what I got.
Mate, it's still the same. Half of nothing's nothing, brother.
Oh, yeah, good on you.
Hey? Yeah. It's all about the laugh, mate.
Good on you. Oh, man, it only made sense to get you on here whenever Simon abandoned me to go over and see family in the UK. So it was good to have you on, mate. It's been a good chat, and we'll, hopefully we'll get some good feedback off this one in the end.
All right then, buddy. Thanks for having me, guys.
Good on you. Speak soon. There you have it, folks. Jayson Pinnock from Yamba Bowling Club. He's a lot of experience in the game, as you heard from that interview. He's been around a few clubs, worked for BA, just loves the sport, great passion for it, top administrator. If you ever have any questions or anything from any of the smaller clubs, Jayson will more than happily help out. You just reach out up to the Yamba Bowling Club there and he'll give you a shout out. So well done, Jace. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Good news, folks. Bad news, depending on what way you like it. We will have my good little mate, Simon Little, back next time out for the next podcast. He will hear all about his holiday over there to God's country, Northern Ireland. But for now, folks, that's all. And as always, keep that little disc on the inside and good luck on them greens.
The views, information, or opinions expressed during What a Load of Bulls podcast episodes are solely those of the individuals involved and do not represent those of any group, organization, or employer associated or affiliated to individuals. This podcast is for general information purposes only, to educate and inform. This podcast does not constitute professional advice or services. What a Load of Bulls does not guarantee the accuracy or reliability of any opinions expressed or statements made within episodes.